Another day. Another 2 seltzers! Yeah, boy! This is how we ran out in the first place. Okay, so we are a little bit in a misguided place today because yesterday just nothing really worked. We did a ton of work and it was all to try and get the 1-bit register working because we realized that apparently the MMC3 does not let you write to mask ROM space, which makes sense because it's a ROM, and also because when you write to those addresses, you are writing to the MMC3's internal configuration registers. So, yeah. The first thought, and let's just get straight to it today. Actually, once I figure out where my chat is, give me a second, because usually I can pop that up, and I can't figure out how to do that right now. So, there we go. Pop out, please. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me here today. Thank you for continuing to bear with me today. Okay. Finally got it. So. See, it's doing that thing again. Yeah, Wereworm, early. It's a Friday. I made a note. I don't know how often. It's what I've found as a YouTube user is that like those like social posts YouTube doesn't really have a any kind of sequential timeline thing in the first place. So much like videos, it seems like those get recommended to you completely at fucking random unless you're looking at them on purpose. So sorry about that, because I announce things there because nobody follows my Twitter, which is on the page, upper right-hand corner if you're in the browser. Not that you need to, just if you want updates that aren't all scattershot all over the place, go follow me on Twitter because, right now I've got like 60-some followers, so it's not really worth it. But, so I've stopped doing updates there. But, if there is a signal of people following me on Twitter, then I will start doing updates on video stuff there. But anyway, so apologies, because the whole point there is that I try and do updates on if I'm going to change my schedule or whatnot on the YouTube social stuff, but it doesn't get to anybody in a timely fashion. So, and I posted a thing about that about an hour ago saying I'd probably do it a little early, and clearly it was not seen. So there you go. Anyway, this is not the right page because what I am thinking, so there's a few possibilities. One might just, completely have this pin wrong. Who knows? That's a total possibility. But the other possibility is I kinda glossed over this last time, but for that program RAM bank, which is the memory area that we're now stealing for our mapped devices. Yeah, there's this program RAM protect register. So it could be as simple as when it starts up by default, the memory is protected, or, I'm sure it starts up as random chaos, but could be this. So let's just go ahead and make sure that is set up right, because if write protection is on and we're trying to write to the 1-bit register, we probably won't get a chip select because write protection is on, which it seems like that would be the whole thing. Hello, Abdigex. So anyway, that should be easy. We just need to write to 1001. Let's go and get that done. I don't feel very confident about this being the solution, but you gotta start somewhere. Maybe we will be very lucky. So let's just go ahead and say make sure MMC3 SRAM protection is off. And so that would be, we need a 1 in the 8 place for chip enable, and 0s everywhere else, because 0 is allow writes. So that's just 80, right? So that should just be load a literal 80, and then store a to 8001. And if we're real lucky, that's all it is. That's all it is, and it's that simple, and it'll just work, and we can move on. If not, this will be as painful as every other video. But, you know, there shouldn't be much more soldering unless I screwed up that wire, and that's the most boring part, so at least we can all rest assured that that is the case. Alrighty, so let's build this bad boy. Actually, it's a very good boy. I still don't get the... I know it's a Twitch thing. I don't get Pog. I'm sure it's a you had to be there, and I'm not a Twitch person. Because AbdiGex said, "Woo, PogChamp, we hey, computer man." To all of which I say, heck yeah. But I still don't understand the Pog thing. Which makes me realize, like, it makes me feel old. Which I am. There is much gray in the beard. Okay, anyway, that's built. To the programmer. Okay, it's still on EEPROM mode. Good, that's what I want. Load it up. Pop the chip. Yoobity doop. Here we go. And program. Okay, fingers crossed that it's just that easy. Just that easy. I will move myself down to over here so that one might be able to see the LED that indicates things. Just barely not off screen here. Oh, in you go, Chippy. In you go. And hopefully it's still working, because it was flaky as hell the other day. FPGEX says, how TF you know how to do all of this? By being 32 years old and having fucked around with computers since I was 8. It's just, it is what it is. If you do the same and dedicate your life to years of being in your bedroom and not seeing people, you too can gain this power. Oh. Oh, guys, today is a good day. I'm pretty sure last video I was saying something. Last video I was saying, you know, usually when we have a real no progress day, the next day is like lots of progress. Fucking sick. Pay no attention to the scrolling. That's something is wrong there. Actually, let me see really quick. Yeah, that's what it is. I think this might be in the code. The MMC mirroring mode is screwed up. Probably because of the MMC3 commands I'm writing lately. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering why that was doing it. I thought it was just because the hardware was being flaky, but no. Because of the way it resets, I can definitely tell. It's because it is doing vertical mirroring instead of horizontal mirroring. So I just have to make sure that that is re-enabled. Anyway, there's our reset thingy. Yay! Very good. I've been trying to get that LED to toggle on and off in the right way for 2 weeks. I mean, it's been off and on. But let's just... There we go. Which means I get to go do fun things now. Thank you, AbdiGex, who is emojiing me great congratulations. Yeah, I guess just to take a break from LED related things really quick. Let's see what's up with the MMC, because I bet that's fairly obvious, and that will feel pretty good to clean that up and make sure it's working properly. Oh, back to the documentation, because I have forgotten how you set up the mirroring. That is 1,000. Oh, okay, so that's actually because... well, that's interesting. Oh yeah, it's all of the even addresses from 8,000 to BFFE. So it's because this. So if we just don't do that anymore, which is fine because we will need to change that anyway. That's why. That's why. So that should be fixed then. That feels good. That was an easy. No, possibly even easier than I thought it would be. Okay, load this again. The funny thing is I really should use, so when you're, I try and do like 3 thoughts at the same time. Let me slow down. So if you're on a Mac, or on Linux, and I'm sure it's supported on Windows too, probably. But you can get this, the programmer software for the Mini Pro working on Wine on Linux if you do a bunch of futzing. But you can't really get it to work on Mac OS at all. So when I was on my MacBook at the Computadora show over the weekend, I had to use the command line, the open source command line tool for driving it, and I don't know why I'm taking all of this time out to talk about this, but it would probably be, I found it, of all things, to be easier than using the UI, which should be unsurprising. But yeah, I should really just build a script that builds and programs the goddamn chip all in one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Back to what we were doing. I haven't programmed it yet. I think I just loaded it, but let me do that again, Mr. Scatterbrains. Sure. I don't trust anything, least of all myself. Yoy, okay. Go for it. I hope you're the right version. Not that it makes a huge difference, but it will make me feel better. And go. There we go. See, all fixed. Hello, Dave. Good to see you. I'm pretty sure laziness is a programmer's greatest asset, which Abdigex says, as quoted by Barack Obama. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that is a classic Bill Gates line, is you hire the laziest people because they will find a way to do it the most efficient way. I don't know about that because I am both lazy and inefficient, so. Dave, I will say, because you were watching the other day, I got the SRAM mapping thing working with the 1-bit register. Turns out the whole frickin' thing was just because the MMC3 SRAM protection, like write protect bit was on. And now it works perfectly, which I was really not expecting. So, anyway, what y'all want to do now? Actually, I'm gonna turn off the old NES-aroo. And I like how I made a point in my first video back from VCF that, like, putting this chip back, or putting this clock crystal in the right way was, like, gonna be a whole important step, and then I took it right out again yesterday. And I'm pretty sure that's right. Uh-huh. If I blow up this chip, then we can't do anything with the floppy drive, so. Anyway, so I guess if that works, we can go ahead and write some... Never mind, I lied. I was saying that there wouldn't really be any soldering this time. And I guess there still won't really be too much soldering, but I can now gloriously connect that reset wire that's dangling over here over to this thing and reset this from the software. And then I don't even think I need to reset the floppy controller to write to the drive motor controller. And well, we'll reset it and send a reset command anyway. But I think what I'm going to try and get to today, since we are, making great progress off the bat here, is use the 1-bit register to reset the floppy drive. Oh, we're going to, right, the floppy controller isn't mapped into SRAM space now. The pins are there, but the code is not there. For the equations for the gal are not set up for that. So we need to do that. But anyway, write some code to toggle the reset pin, and then send a reset command to the thing, and then try and turn on a floppy drive motor. You think we can do it? I feel like we can do it. Oh, Dave says, sounds about like my problem. I forgot to define my address bus at the show when he was working on his FPGA Apple II. That would, yeah, you kind of need a bus to go from the 6502 to its peripherals, I would imagine. Now, I'm not an expert. I am not an expert by any means, but it strikes me. You might be right. Of course, this wire doesn't make it all the way over there. That's fun. Okay. Gotta run a new one. And I'm gonna leave the LED hooked up for fun. Sorry. I don't know where my stripper is. It's right here. Haha. Yoot. I also want to say, I don't think I gave the desoldering gun enough credit the other day. Mostly because I was busy being angry at how hard it was to get the chip back in the holes, but, yo, that chip came out, like, toot sweet. Gotta say. That's how you know something is truly convenient, is when it's so convenient that you didn't even notice that it saved you, like, hours of work. It's just like, oh yeah, well, that worked the way it was supposed to. Very good. Moving on. So Dave, is the Apple II emulator like emulator? I just got angry at myself because people who describe FPGA stuff as emulation or simulation bother me. Not too much. I'm not that fussed, but it gives me a little like the jerk I am. But the is your core functionally complete now? Because the 6502 was the only thing missing at this point, right? Aside from the USB peripheral stuff. And if so, that's insane. AbdiGex is eating cold fries and making me hungry. We did the Shake Shack Hot Ones menu items the other day, and they were pretty good. Still not a huge fan of Apollo as a hot sauce. Like, it's pretty hot, but it's not that flavorful in my opinion. My wife really likes it. I don't so much, because we got the last season hot sauce box And Cranked. Cranked is really good. It's one of the hottest in the box, but also like actually really flavorful. And then I got to Apollo, and I was bummed because I feel like it's not even as hot as Cranked, but also doesn't taste as good. So whatever. Now you know if you're ever wondering about the Hot Ones sauces and did not get them yourself. Because that's why people come to this channel, is to hear my opinions on Hot Ones sauces. And you probably can't see anything right now because you are probably covered up. I am probably covered up by my own face. But I think that's that. I think reset is wired, assuming I connected the right pins. Let me just make sure this still, like works and stuff. Oh, damn! Dave says I got my teensy on the I2C bus working for keyboard. Was able to type in a hello world. That's awesome. That is freaking sick. Now load up some Oregon Trail on that bad boy. Yay, cool. Toggling this thingy still works. And not only that, it is now connected to the reset pin. Let's be sure about that. I am going to look at the pinout of the floppy controller and make sure it's actually the right pin that I connected to. 'Cause paranoia is what I have. Let's see, reset was pin 32, and 27 is this corner. 32. Do not let me forget. 32. I'm pretty confident it was already right, but 32. 3 and 2. And that should be off right now. Let me get myself some ground. Oh wait, this meter wasn't working the other day, wasn't it? Shit. Well, let's just see about that. DC volts. Nope, it's still super dead. Okay, then I'm just going to have to assume it's fine. Don't you do this to me, Abdi. He says 32, or was it 23? Well, or we could just do this. One second. Where are my LEDs? I have piles of them. Oh, I threw them back where they belong. Interesting. Who does that? Okay, let's just do it the old school way. There we go, but that's just 5 volts. I was hoping to do this with a probe because now I have to hope that it goes in the holes here. Okay, anyway, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay. And that should toggle with the other one, which isn't happening. Probably because I poked things in such a way that execution got screwed up. And now it just doesn't start up at all. Probably because I am bridging 2 pins on the ROM. Super cool. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Nope, it was 32. Damn it. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Try not to bridge things. Power on. There we go. Okay, cool. That's the right one. Good to know. Thank you for putting up with that. I know it was pretty redundant, but I don't want to make mistakes here. Do it right the first time, damn it. Beep! Thank you, Cliff Cheney. Thank you for tuning in with a resounding beep. But we can't beep anymore because this has kicked the bucket. I'm sure the batteries are just dead, but Let's see, what kind of batteries do you take? And which part of you is the battery door? Oh, Abdigex says, I have to go to bed now. Bye. Bye, Abdi. You were fun. Have a good night. Sleep well. Derek Koenigsberg has also joined us. Hello, world. Spend too much time watching Usagi's mini computer project videos? Hi. For sure. We have chatted with this. Oh. Single double A. Not too bad. I will change that later. Hi, Usagi Denki. Disk I/O is going to be fun, says Dave on the Apple II project. Gonna aim for getting my DDR2 memory going next, so I have somewhere to stuff disk images, and focus on getting Total Replay running. So that's another thing I didn't ask at the show. Did you? So the Apple II working memory is not in the DDR2. Is it in onboard memory blocks on the FPGA? That didn't occur to me because you had said that your memory controller wasn't set up. Anyway, yes. What was I doing now? Writing software, I guess. I guess let's start by trying to read registers and stuff. So let us begin with a toggle of the reset, just to make us feel really good about ourselves. So instead of doing all of this shit, don't need that, don't need that. Don't need this, or this, or this, or this. Oh, right. Shit. Okay, well, I'll write the reset part, which you won't see anything because it's gonna, happen in a flash. But I'll write it anyway. Use 1-bit register. And I'm gonna have to move this anyway because when I start remapping things, oh, there will be soldering. Damn it. Right, because I have to hook up address lines to the GAL so that we can decode the SRAM memory area and split it up into reasonable chunks. Yeah. Forgot about that. Well, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. In the meantime, let's just write this, and we'll change the address later, whatever. So use 1-bit register to reset the FDC. And that would just be load A 0, and then store it at what is currently 6,000. And then, I don't know, let's wait for a minute, just because I don't know how long you have to hold reset down, so let's just be super, super paranoid and safe. And do load X, I don't know, like it wouldn't even take that many. Let's just load 16 loops into it, and FDC reset wait. Boop. And literally just decrement X and branch if not 0 to FDC reset wait loop. And then finally, oh wait, probably want to, this just turned off the reset line. Probably want to do load A. I don't know. I don't need to mess with this too much. I'm just going to do FF because I think it's bit 0 that is connected, but who's to say? Oh wait, you know what? We actually didn't confirm any. Well, we didn't confirm as much as I thought. Frickin' frick. Right. This would be toggling. Unfortunately, the code was toggling and this was toggling in hardware. So this actually wasn't showing that it was reading from the bus. Balls. Well, I can finish this code anyway because I'm not going to write it to the thing at the moment. So whatever. we will fix that right after I am done writing this. And load a lower reset again and store it to, again, what is currently 6,000, but I will probably change that. Now, let's, oh wait, shit. Shit. Right, I do need to write this back because balls. Okay, let's take this. Let's just take this here really quick and copy it over into a backup buffer. For later. And then undo everything because if we're going to test this chip of ours, oh wait, yeah, sorry. Sorry, just trying to make sure my code is in the right situation. If I'm gonna test that this works, I need to make this back into the version that is actually writing data there. And I don't know. This, we still shouldn't have this, but let's just change this temporarily to, because we do want to keep this code-ish. But I will just change it to loading a literal 0, because whatever, who cares? And then, because it does a bunch of other stuff with it, and that is... Oh, right. We were doing this. That was what I was doing before. Because then it wants to print the bits of that on the screen, and I don't want to screw that up too much or worry about it too much, so we won't read from there, so as we won't mess up the MMC again. And yeah. Anyway, so we are back to the toggle it on and off through the bus version of the code. So I will build that real quick. And over at Kubel, yeah, so right now, what this is saying is if the SRAM chip enable is asserted, then toggle the FDC reset pin. Otherwise, if the SRAM chip enable is not asserted, then just have it keep whatever its current value is. So this needs to be swapped to, if it is asserted, then we need to firstly rename this back to D0 because that's what it is, because I fixed it. And no, I am not in Vim. And build it, I guess. I thought I saved it. I guess not. And now program back both these things and see if the toggly thing still toggles. Because it hopefully should. Let's find out. Programmer. That's what you use to program. You use the programmer. Okay, EEPROM first. Did I load anything? Yeah. Even for an early stream. Bad brains. Okay. Now program it. Okay, EEPROM done. Now to write the updated version of the gal. And rip it out of its comfy cradle. The ends of these tweezers have gotten so bent that I can't even get them under chips anymore. That's where we're at with this. I don't know how they keep getting bent, you know. It's not like I use them inappropriately as a tool for levering things. Who could possibly say what the problem is? Okay. ATF 16 B8B. Load the mapper JED file. Program. And then cross the shit out of your fingers, because I'm gonna need it. All right, programming successful, whatever that means. I'm not sure it speaks to the potential success of this, but we crossing the fingers? Are we all crossing fingers? You didn't cross them hard enough. You didn't cross them hard enough, and I am disappointed in you. Shit, I'm just gonna jiggle things and hope that does something. Damn it. What have I done? What have I done? It's just that crappy gal socket. Okay, yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you. Okay, yes, it doesn't, it's back to not working again. Super good and super cool. Fuck. So the possibilities here are that the SRAM chip select is not going high at the same time as there is valid data on the data bus, which I find weird because RAM chip select should be going back high at the end of the bus cycle, and there should still be valid data there. But our other option, and our option here, which unfortunately involves stealing a pin and using another pin again, is to invert it, which I was doing before we figured out that the whole issue was that I wasn't getting a chip select signal at all anyway. So I guess I'll do that again. I guess I'll just do that again. Fine. And in the meantime, I will read some comments while I'm doing this. Dave says, using BRAM for 6502 RAM, I assume that's FPGA block RAM? FPGA 6502 RAM, ROM, Z80 RAM, video shadow memory, language card, Saturn 128K, and the RISC-V's 256K of work RAM. The fact that there are enough available logic units in a modern FPGA that you can have that much just like as RAM blocks is insane. Oh yeah, he says the Spartan 6 LX150 has so much BRAM, it's kind of a cheat. I mean, that's neat. Daniel Rodriguez says, hello everyone. Hello, Daniel. Good to have you. Jacob says, just saying hello, have a good stream. Thank you very much. We will have you in our minds and our hearts. And Wereworm says, asks Dave how the FPGA configuration is stored. And yeah, Dave says it has a 16 megabyte SPI flash. That was my understanding as well, but I never asked. He says, I could store a small disk image there in the SPI flash, but it would still be cached in RAM to guarantee the cycle accuracy. That makes sense. And then coding projects and stuff, cross his fingers, and said, too late, blow on it. And Kyle Steinkamp says, good evening. Good evening, Kyle. Right, where was I? I was wiring a thing. Right, this, and it pisses me off because every pin that I have to use for another purpose is a pin that I do not get to use for address lines for the SRAM. And the more address lines I can have, the better, because I only have a couple of registers that need to be mapped, and I really want to be able to use the SRAM someday. But like, I really can't win with this one. Either Oh, right, soldering iron. That's what I need. Can't talk and do things at the same time. Either the chip select timing versus what's on the bus isn't right, in which case inverting this signal will make things work, or it is right, or that's not the thing that fixes it, which just means that this isn't gonna fucking work. So I can't win either way, because one way I lose an address line. That's the better option. And then the other way, things just don't work. There's no good outcome from this one. Anyway. Right, I was going to look at my available input pins. So, right, 5 is SRAM chip enable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let's, oh wait, no, I don't need an input, I need an output, because it's my output for the inverted RAM chip select signal, which I already have. Oh, right. And we are, so right now, again, I always show things like you can see them, but of course you can't see them. RAM chip select comes into this pin, but then also has another pin that goes from there to the clock pin on the GAL. So the RAM chip select is just going straight to the clock. So what I am going to do is, instead of connecting that straight to the RAM chip select, I am going to connect it to my next available output pin and make that output pin the inverted chip select, which, I don't know, I really don't feel confident about this. I don't think this is the fix, but what else am I to do? Okay, and this looks like maybe it will be just long enough to make it, if we're really lucky. And very careful. Don't break the wire. And put our face directly in front of the camera. If we can do all this, then we stand a chance. A chance! I'm sorry, tweezer work, don't you know? Okay. That seems like it could indeed be a connected pin. So now, let's see, what pin was that? That is 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Which, yes, good. I haven't reserved that for anything yet. And so that will become pin 14 is SRAM CE. I'm going to be real clear about it and say CEB inverted. And SRAM CEB inverted, we will define down here, is SRAM CEB inverted equals simply not SRAM CEB. Okay. I don't think this will fix it, but let's give it a go anyway, shall we? Compile. Very good. Programmer. Let's try ripping this thing out again. And risk it not starting up again, because I am ruining this IC socket again. But what you gonna do? What you're gonna do is buy a ZIF socket and replace that and do it right the first time, and or get a PCB manufacturer. Don't use a Super Mario Brothers 3 cartridge. That's the answer to that. There is an answer, and there is a correct answer. But I'm just ignoring it. Okay. All right. Okay, fingers crossed again. we are back in fingers crossed mode. Let me get the video back up. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, still doesn't work. Super duper cool. Damn it. Damn it! Remember when I was so optimistic at the beginning of this video and I thought we had it all figured out? Do you remember those halcyon days? Ugh. Okay. So, that's cool. Wait. Double check a thing. Because the other possibility... 1 second. So the annoying thing is that I am both using SRAM chip enable to clock the chip and to determine whether we are actually reading the value from the bus or not. And that could cause some really bizarre timing problems that I don't even know that I want to think about. For starters, one thing that I might be able to do, where it says, well, you could use a gal pin and set it up to be low on power up and change it to high at the first FDC access. Or simple RC power preset. He's been telling me this for ages. And I have not been listening. But for the gal pin and setting it to be low on power up, that is actually interesting-ish, because can you do that? Does that work? I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you can, like, preset values on a gal. Can you? No, I don't think so. I don't think you can set initial values on a gal. I don't know. Now I'm going to look this up and go down a rabbit hole. ATF16V8B initial register state. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to search this. I don't know how to find this answer. Because then... high initial cost. There you go. Is it in the data sheet? Scanning. I mean, it's a surprisingly simple data sheet. Because it's basically, like, here's the timings. But, Ooh. Okay, this is something. The registers in the ATF16V8B are designed to reset during power-up. At a point delayed slightly from VCC crossing V-reset, all registers will be reset to the low state. As a result, the registered output state will always be... What? Okay, can someone help me parse this? I thought I was reading it, and then I realized I wasn't understanding it. All registers will be Oh, wait. So are they saying because there's a time delay, they will always be high on power up and then go low? Wait, it probably says right here. No, I'm clearly just not understanding, because this chart shows it going high. What? Is this just miswritten? Because it says, at a point delayed slightly from VCC crossing V-reset, all registers will be reset to the low state. Now, maybe there's an inverter after the registers that I'm not aware of? But it shows that is not the low state. That is definitely the high state. But that's actually good, because we can... The only reason that we couldn't use just the toggling before, and I was wrestling with all of this, is because I was assuming we wouldn't know what the reset state is. But we actually do. we know that it will always start up high, which tracks with what I was seeing. I think this is a hack I like. Hello, Lawless. Lawless is here. I think I have used this for a self-built computer once to boot from ROM in the lower address space and have it bank switch to the high address space on first high address read. This was long ago. Yeah, I think this is the trick. I think it's fine. It will just always be high when the thing turns on, which in and of itself will probably be enough to reset the floppy controller, but I'll probably just toggle it at least once just to be safe. But yeah, if it always starts up high, then we can just go back to our old flippin' and floppin' code, not worry about that data pin. Hell, desolder that data pin and get myself a frickin' wire back. Yeah, this is all good. So what shall I do first? Since I'm already over here, let's do this code first. Get rid of this frickin' invert pin. I don't need you. Get rid of D0, which is annoying because I just consolidated these pins and moved them around. And I'll just do it again while I'm in there. Yeah, why not? They're easy to move. So these will be 3 and 4. Remove this shit. And switch this back to not FDC reset. And then that should just be fine. That should just be fine, man. It's all groovy. It's all gravy, I think. Okay. So yeah, that actually would work out well because that frees up 2 pins now for address shenanigans. And I am going to go ahead and just get rid of this line because we are clearly never going to use it. All right, I think that is all for the equations. So let's go ahead and program that up. This is on. I should not do this while this is on. And then I'm just going to do a few manual tests. Going back to, is the keyboard code still doing the write to this thing? It is, right? We'll find out in a second. One moment. Just to confirm, if we power cycle a few times and it appears to be high on startup, and that will make sure that I actually understood everything correctly. And then we can go back to, we can remove the toggling it via keyboard code, because that's going to get in the way. Anyway, programming, we're programming. That's what we're doing. Let's load up this JED and program this thing. And yeah, hope it all works out in our favor. And noting the time, we are at 53 minutes, so I'm shooting for maybe like an hour and a half today. So we will see where we get. I might just, if I plug this in, I'm going to plug this in, we already know the toggling works, so whatever. So I think that the next place to go, so that I do not waste time here and we get to an interesting end goal, which hasn't happened in a while, I will jam this back in. We will make sure that it works the way that I think it does. Actually, real quick, I might want to rewrite this code because we do have this. No. I removed the startup reset code. Right, because I moved it over here. Duh, that's right. Cool. So I don't have to change that right now. Get this back in here, make sure the toggling works the way I expect, go with that, and we're already hooked up to the reset line, so whatever. Put the reset code in here, remove this toggling code, and then run. For now, I'm going to say I'm just going to run one address line to the gal for, you know, switching between the floppy and the and toggling that register, and then try and turn on a floppy drive motor. I think that is my goal. So let's start here. PAL is programmed, right? I just did that. Did I not? You watch me do it. I'm sorry. I bet this is infuriating. I bet a lot of things I do are infuriating. But you chose to tune in. This is on you. Okay. And now we should just be back to regular plain Jane toggling deal, so that I can double check that it should power up to the on state every time, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure that was my experience. Why are you not toggling now? Oh, you know why? Because it's not getting a clock signal anymore, because some idiot wired it up to a pin that's not even doing anything now. What a moron. I mean, come on, really? Okay, and put this back where it was, and just pretend this never happened. And what is that going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, cool. Wait, no. It should be 5. Wait, no. I'm moving a bunch of things. Right. I was shifting. I was removing D0. Let's start there, because that will give me a good reference as far as which pin is missing is the one that I am shifting everything to fill the gap for. Okay, so D0, you say? Removed. Gone. Done. And then that would be clock. Program chip enable. And then shift up NES read write by 1. And hope that this is my last time that I do this. But probably won't be. In terms of, you know, shifting things around unnecessarily. Also hope that this wire actually stretches over there. That's going to be important. Put some more solder on there because it's never enough. It's just never enough. Okay. Come on, buddy. Okay, there's that one. And then the SRAM chip enable is this guy. Why do I do this to myself? My neck hurts. My eyes are straining. I was like, this is worth it. This is totally a thing that would be worth it. Is just aimlessly moving wires around over and over again. Oh, but you know, why did I do this whole project to myself? Because masochism can be an enjoyable pastime. Let's go with that. Okay, and then I just take the clock pin and connect it to that old RAM chip enable that I just soldered just now. So that's back to being not inverted. And that looks weird, but I think it's connected, and I'm not going to worry about it, because who cares? It either works or it doesn't. Okay, so that's the rewiring. Now this should just work. Before I was just joking about it just working, but now it should just work. Totally. Hey, look. It powered on in the on state. See, I told you it would just work. You didn't believe me. Come on. Okay. Power off. Let's wait for a second. And look. It turns on high. Amazing. Truly amazing. And then if we turn it off, oh look, it's high again. Amazing. Seems pretty reliable to me. And off and on. Still high. Still high. Still high. Reset? Oh, that's going to be an interesting thing to note. Haha. Okay, we just need to make sure we never reset this thing via the reset button. That's the only rule, okay? Until such a time as I build an RC reset circuit, as Wereworm said that I should totally do, because reset doesn't cut power to the thing, and the registers on this reset based on the power supply. So, yeah, whatever, good enough for now. I want to move on from this silly thing that I have been wasting way too much time on. All right, anyway, that works. I guess actually, while the soldering iron remains hot, I shall run an address line over here. So let me do some really easy math here that a child could do, but I can't. So our address is 6,000, right? That's the base of SRAM, RAM. And it goes to the first address that isn't in that range is 8,000. And those have their highest nibble as 6 is 01. No, wrong. 0110. So that's 0110 blah blah through, and then 8 is that. And so this is, but it's inclusive of the range 0110, also 0111, because that's the 7,000s, which it includes, and that. So the first pin that I can use for my own decoding is address, what is that going to be? It's going to be 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So pin 11 is the first one I can start using to split up my memory area. So I will run address pin 11 to, I guess, my next available pin on this thing. So let me pick it here while I'm in code, or while I'm in the machine. And yeah. So the nice thing is, hopefully I don't have to add any more signals, and the Hooji Mooji would doojit. The nice thing about the GAL is that the outputs can also be used as inputs. So I have even more laterality here. So that's nice, because I have, how many? I have a few pins on the output side still available. So I should be able to run a decent number of address pins here and get fairly decent granularity. And either way, not that I would be able to get that low with the pins I have, I don't think anyway, but I would not be able to use the last 3 address pins regardless, because those need to be connected directly to the floppy controller, which they already are. And, I mean, how many do I have available? Let me just look on the frickin' thing itself. Assuming I don't need to use any more pins, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pins available to me to use for address decoding. So that gets me 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I did that, and I might be off by 1. Let me think about this. So, can't use these. And then it would be 11. I don't know. I'm just going to use a random symbol here to indicate the pins that I have available to me. So 11. Well, I have those pins, right? Yes. Okay. So I have basically pin 3 of address pin 3 is the only pin that I wouldn't be able to directly read. So that's pretty good granularity, because the lower 3 bits gives me the register space for the floppy drive of 8 registers. So that gives me a 16-byte granularity of address decode, which is, I'm fine with that. That will work. But anyway, I'm not going to do all that right now. We're just going to hook up 11, but I feel real good about that. Where says, in a pinch, you could wire a diode ore for a lot of address pins condensed into 1 gal input. That's a good note. But I don't think it's necessary, because there's only one. Assuming that I continue to have all 8 of these pins available, then that means that I can use basically all of the SRAM except for... Oh, actually, sorry, that's not true, because I have to use at least one of those pins for one of those ones that I marked as D for selecting... Oh, shoot, no, I need to use 2 of them, because it will either be... Right, because it needs to either be... Toggling the thing is 1 memory chunk. Writing and reading to the floppy drive controller is another memory chunk. And then there is a 3rd and 4th, though they're going to be treated as 1 memory chunk that is all SRAM. So that means my granularity is still going to be pretty good. But that'll mean, I guess, basically 32, I think. Yeah. 32 bytes of effective taken up space for the reset thingy-ma-do, that's stupid. 32 for the floppy drive area, and then all the rest can be usable SRAM. Right? Yes. So I lose 64 bytes of SRAM. That's totally fine. Kyle Steinkamp says, need a 20v8 or a 22v10. Nah. I mean, that would improve that situation, but I'm just seeing what I have to play with later. It's kind of silly to talk about it right now, because it doesn't even matter. Wareham says, that gal might struggle to use more than 8 terms in an equation anyway. You may be right. I don't know what the limits are. I thought it was that you can use all of them for all of them, but I can't guarantee that. That, like, every available input to the chip is available as an input to one of the product of sums, or sum of products for each output, but I could be wrong about that. I've been wrong about a lot of things. Oh, David says, all for all. I'm going to trust you. Dave knows some shit. Anyway, none of that really mattered. It just gives me an idea of how badly I will be stealing memory area from my SRAM in the future. But I don't need it now, so Who gives a shit? Let's hook up A11, make some decoding between the toggly-do and the floppily-do, and then try doing some floppy access. Where is my stripper? How do I keep losing it? Oh, here. Over here. Let's be over here now. Did I throw it on the floor? No, I didn't. All right, and then I just need to remember where the frick A11 is at here. Let me just look at the thing. Not this. Not this. Wait. Not this. Oh, dang it. Did I close the Super Mario Brothers 3 pinout? That's a bummer. I mean, it's basically just the JEDEC pinout, but... actually, I guess, yeah, that's dumb. I can just use the pinout of the 29EE doodly-doo. Right, so A11 is hanging out at pin 25. So that is over here somewhere. Pin 25, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. And I have lost sight of it. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Cool. I'm going to mark that in some way. Because otherwise I'm going to lose it. I mean, to be honest, I have already lost it. But in a different, more subtle and fun way. Soldering iron. That's what we use for soldering. Sometimes I forget. Okay, now just here's to hoping that I can have two wires connected at the same time. That would be real nice. Yay! I can. And then what should we run that to? I'm just going to go with the next available input. That would make sense. And then when we run out of inputs, we shall move over to... I mean, calling them outputs is kind of silly because they are inputs or outputs, but there you are. I need to call them something. And let me see if I can try to run this in a non-shitty way that does not stick out past the edge of the board. Because I have griped about that in the past, and how that catches on everything and is like the first thing to break. So let's not do that. Let's just go ahead and not do that. Yeah. Can you hear my stomach? That is insane. I have never heard such rumbles. I don't feel that hungry either. Kind of weird. Maybe it's because I am focused on my work. And the moment I stop, I'll be starving. Going to pause for a second to read some chat because Dave is saying stuff. 16V and 22V are easy to read the bit file since they map one-to-one to the chip schematic layout. Nice. Oh, you know what I didn't realize? Is I accidentally opened one of the JED files in an editor. I think when I was at VCF, and firstly I didn't realize, I figured they were a binary format. I did not realize that they are plain text. And it looks like, I have to look at them again because it looks very interesting, but is it like, the JED file looks like it's literally just a grid of, like a visual representation of the fuses on the chip. Which I could be wrong because I only glanced at it, but I was like, really? That seems straight up. And then Dave says, and hence I love them for the bit stream mapping exactly to the schematic. Wereworm says, I still believe 8 product terms is the max for 16v8. I'm not going to argue it because I have no clue. Right, so I have A11 hooked up. Now I have to actually do something with it. That would be where I'm at, huh? So, then, let us couple. So, pin 5 is now... What am I calling that? What am I calling that? It just is. A11. I'm not calling it shit. And now we get to make a... Am I allowed to have buried pins in here? Or buried, like, variables? Probably not. Oh, Dave says, yes, you are right to Wereworm. Looking at the logic diagram for 16v8, each macro cell has 8 input buses from the matrix switch. Well, there we are. And I didn't have to learn a thing. Dave did all the learning for me. So, I guess, since I don't know if you can... Like, it would make sense for there to be buried things, because they would just reduce to whatever I'm about to type. I'm not going to worry about it. I tried doing buried stuff before, buried signals, and it didn't work out for me. But maybe I was trying to do something stupid, like do a buried registered signal, which doesn't make any sense for this chip at all. So anyway, now this is going to be... so SRAM chip enable needs to be low, and also... what else? A11 needs to be something. So, I don't know. Let's just do... and A11. So now, that will mean that the flippity floppity doodad will show up at 6100, right? Yeah. Is what that should mean, I think. And I'm going to, like a paranoid nut, enclose this in parentheses. I don't know of a single language where the invert operator has a lower precedence than any of the binary operators, but I don't know what's wrong with me. And then over here is just the inverse, which I will write a little more explicitly. As not the same thing. So, this is dumb. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's going to be not SRAM chip enable B and A11. Which, you see what I'm saying? Like, I should just be able to make... sorry, just checking my parenthesis matching. You would think I could just declare a symbol that is this. And I'm sure I probably can. So Dave says the 1504 and the 1508 have buried nodes. Anything else will use up a pin. I hate Kupel. There's probably a way. There's probably a way just to make something that's not a signal per se, but is just a symbol. I don't know. Kupel scares me, so I'm not going to press it. All right, classic finger counting matching the parentheses thing. We are at 1:19. We may yet... Sorry, 1 hour, 19 minutes. So we may yet get a floppy drive motor on today. Let's see. Open, open, open. Close, close. open, close, close. That one's good. Open, 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 close, 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 close. That seems balanced. Now, FDC reset, or not reset, FDC chip enable is going to be something. So firstly, let's start here, and the floppy drive read signal should only be... It should firstly never be connected to SRAM chip enable. So it's going to be SRAM chip enable, and it's going to be not, because it's inverted logic. Words are failing me right now. So it will only be asserted, which is false, when the SRAM chip enable is high and also A11 is low. And, right, the original thing that I was actually thinking of, which is the read signal should only be high when the 6502 read-write signal is high, right? That's how that works. We are sure going to find out. What was it? NES, RWB. NES, RWB. Very good. And, I mean, F it while we're in here. While we're doing stuff. Let's go ahead and... Oh, you know what? I can use... I can definitely use floppy drive chip enable for this. Right. So floppy drive chip enable is going to be... Oh, all the unnecessary inversions that are going to be in here. So floppy drive chip enable will be SRAM chip enable will be not, which is just an OR, right? That would reduce to an OR. I'm not going to, but it would be. So when A11 is low and SRAM chip enable is low, this would be true, but it's an inverted signal, so invert it. Right? Yes. But then the fun thing is that if I'm gonna use that signal, then I have to re-invert it again here, which yeah. So the right signal is NES. So when this is low, that indicates that the NES is doing a read, I believe. If my 6502 experience is actually sticking in my brain. And it's going to be not PRG chip enable B. Koople's going to reduce this for me. Don't worry. Just don't even worry about it. Because we have to turn this back into positive logic to work with my stupid brain. And then, only then can we AND it with this. Which again... This is the exact same format. I'm pretty sure this is also just reduces to an OR. But just shh. Koople's gonna do all the hard work for me. All the hard work. And then we can do the same thing for this guy. For the read signal. It's gonna be the same thing. Not PRG chip enable. SRAM chip enable. Wait, no. Even worse, even stupider. Floppy drive controller chip enable. That's what it is. So same thing here. Floppy drive chip enable. That's the signal. And NES RWB is high. High. And who knows, maybe I have that backwards and I'm about to confuse the living shit out of myself. Okay, that seems fine. So we've got the floppy reset, theoretically, mapped to 6100, and we've got the the floppy drive mapped to 6,000, which is kind of stupid and backwards because right now our code is using 6,000. Whatever, don't worry about it. I have to change the code anyway, so we'll just change it everywhere. Actually, you know what? No. Just because, so that we can do a test before changing the game cart code. Let's invert that. Let's change their locations. So the floppy drive will show up at 6100 and mirrors thereof, and the flippity floppity will show up at 6,000. So that, theoretically, that should change nothing about what the current code is doing. And we should still get that thing toggling, and everything should still be super cool. And that will prove that our decoding of the A11 signal works okay for the flippity-floppity doodad. Okay, let's see how many errors are there. Woo! Nailed it! First try. I mean, I don't guarantee that the logic is right, but it compiles. That's saying a lot for my low skill level with these things. Okay, now we gotta get to the chippity-doo-dah. And as I do this, let me read some stuff. Right as soon as I get this under the chip. Okay. Where it says, we build a giant maze out of parentheses and hope the right signal will get caught in it. You have adequately described my voodoo programming. Dave says, Koopel poops out a core dump in a useless message about gnomes and noblins. Nah. It's not even that late. Goblins fighting kobolds. I hope I have a mostly adult audience. Noblins are pornographic goblins with huge wangs. Noblins. Dave says, equally as likely as all other outcomes. See, you understand. It's all voodoo. That's all there is to it. You can't know this stuff. It's not like a science. It's just, you know, voodoo incantations and crossing your fingers. Programmed. Back you go. And we should, again, have the very exciting result of absolutely nothing changing. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. I don't know. Could be that I, programmed an old version of the fuses to that gal, and it's not changed at all, but I choose to believe that it's working correctly. So, now the boldest thing to do is go back over to the code, and now I'm officially going to turn off my soldering iron. There's no frickin' way. It's an hour 28. It's not happening. There's no more soldering happening. I'm not doing it. Anyway, go back to the code. And yeah, load from the floppy register again. And print it. And this is the one that should show us some stuff. Do I still have the documentation up? Yes, I do. Okay, so register 4 was like some state stuff. The main status register. But let's switch back to the digital input register because Wareworm found that for us, and it is very useful because we can actually check the status of a pin and make sure that it changes. So let's go back to 8007, and it's not going to be 8000, it's going to be 6107 because the floppy controller should now be mapped to 6100, assuming my logic is right, which let's not make any of those assumptions. And then it's register 7. Here we go. Build it. Ship it. Send it. Okay, do the old chips switchy doodad. I'm using the word doodad way too much right now. 29EE010. Cool, that's fine. Yes. Load. Not the JED. The basic.bin. Load at an offset. Okay, okay. Now I guess I should actually get the chip. I think it needs to go in the socket. And wait! I almost forgot. It's been a minute since we programmed this chip. I caught myself. My training is sinking in. My ninja skills of clicking the check ID button. Okay. Let's see about that. Okay, and it is one of these pins. I can't remember which one. Let me look at the floppy drive pinout real quick. I'm not going to switch screens because I don't feel like it. Floppy cable pinout. And that was the right one, right? The right register. Why don't I trust my own brain? It's because I know better. Yes, that is the digital input register on reads. Hubity-doo-doo-doo. Looking for pinouts. Looking for thingies. Looking for stuff. Okay, pin 1 is over here. Yes. And disk change was pin 33, which is, I knew it was one of these far ones. 33, right? Yes, is that what you're saying? Yes. Oh no, 34, 34. So that is this one, yes. Okay, that's the one I thought it was. Just making sure. Just being thorough. Now I need to get a wire with a source of power. How shall I do that? I'll have to solder a thing. No, surely there's another way. Surely. Is there 5 volts on the floppy connector? I don't know why there would be. There is not. There's lots of ground. But no power, which, I mean, that makes total sense. Why would there be? Fine, I'll solder a thing. Get off my back. And I think... Okay, so it is pin 50 here that I have my power connection on. And we'll just kind of... Oh, wait, no, wait. I don't remember now. Okay, I'm just going to wire up 2 wires because I can't remember... No, I'll wire up 1 to power. Almost all of these are grounds, so if I need to go for a ground, I can just go for a ground. But, I can't remember if you need to... If it's pulled up or pulled down, because it's definitely one of the two. And where are my female to males? Here we go. Just do this like a cheap piece of crap. Wow, really? good. I just need you to be attached. And it doesn't seem to have horribly fucked up anything on the backside. So, let us do some tests. If I force it high, does that change? It does not. But I kind of wasn't expecting that anyway. So, soldering that up was a complete waste. What if I pull it down to ground? Oh, hell, man. Why is it not doing things? Is it because my logic is all screwy? Soldering while on is bad. That is true. But, like, I don't know. That shouldn't have screwed up too much. That shouldn't have done much. I'll reset it, though, just for fun. Oh, boy. Yeah, that ain't working. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It ain't working. Ain't nothing changing. Oh, I'm holding in reset right now. Could that possibly be a thing? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that. It's been an hour 37. We will do drive motors tomorrow. I am sorry. Like, once I figure out why it's not accessing the floppy controller properly, then we can reset this dang thing and turn on the frickin' drive motor and have something interesting. But I'm running out of time. Right, so let's go ahead and... I mean, it's still... Wait. Is it still toggling the thing? No, interestingly. It is not toggling the thing. Wait. What did I do? That should not have changed. And it was working a second ago, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Guys, I need to go do something that's not this. I have exploded my brains finally. They're gone. They were here briefly. They're out of here. Yeah, because it's this code, the bit that does this stuff, and all I did was changed this address. It should still be trying to toggle this. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I don't even know what to make of this. What I'm going to make of this is... We did some changes. We made some stuff. We had this working 2 seconds ago. Now it's not working, and that's a mystery. Could be because the decoding I'm not thinking out quite correctly. And... yeah, I'm thinking in the back of my head, okay, this is what we'll check next time. Because it, every loop, yeah, oh, you know what else? There's a bunch of reasons this probably isn't working. Or at least why this isn't working. I don't know why the floppy drive isn't working. Could be because RWB is backwards from what I think it is. But anyway, this is not checking whether it's a read or a write, for one. And... I don't know. I really don't know. I had some thoughts, but they're gone. So, I'm gonna cut it off. Because my brain, it's gone. But we have an address line hooked up. That was working briefly. We'll figure out next time why it's not working. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. And an hour and a half a day is really not that much time to do stuff. I am thinking... I only did the mega streams because there was stuff coming up. I think I'm just going to stick to weekdays. So just FYI, I do not plan on streaming over the weekend. I am going to take some me time. And that's that. So, see you Monday. Until then, I see ya. Love ya. Bye!